Hi guys, today's video is about straight barring your bike. Generally you do this when it hasn't got fairings on it, and generally street fighter bikes have been down the road somewhere on the line. This one is not the same. We took the fairing off to try and street fighter the bike and never put it back on, so I got a bit of a rubbish headlight, put twin dominant headlights on, which you're going to see now. Never quite looked right with the dropped handlebars. So the help with Trick Bitz, that's B-I-T-Z, they've supplied me with very nice bar risers. A lot of the ones are thin and you drill into the yokes like you're going to see in this video, and these come prepared, and unfortunately weren't quite manufactured to my bike, so with help with them they're going to be able to design them better next time. Needed probably 15mm on the bottom to be able to get on top of the yoke, and that should suffice. Right guys, watch the video, bit of learning for you as well in there, helpful advice as usual guys, enjoy. So guys, what are we going to talk about today? Nice and easy, Triumph 955, should have a fairing on here, should look reasonably nice, dated. It's obviously not with it. If you watch the other videos, there'll be the links at the end. You can see that I changed it from a round light to a twin light dominator. This was too high, so I've lowered it. I'm going to play with that again. But we're talking about bar risers today. There's lots out there you can get. Most of them you drill into the yoke. I found a company, and I'll show you in a minute, that they come with these bits here and the risers on them. So we'll show you in a minute what they're like. And they make a nicer job of it. So you had to buy them, nice and cheap, 90 quid, which is good, and a set of bars as well. But if you're moving the bars from here, which is a more leaning down position, to here, the cables and so on. Now, there's a couple of tricks. Obviously the clutch cable and the accelerator cables, you don't need to change them. You do need to reroute them though. At present they come from the front up and over. What you do is lift the yoke off and then put them this way, so it's closer, so they get higher, and along with the clutch as well, you reroute it this way. Again, I'll show you in a minute how I'm doing that. But you have to change one thing. Yep. The brake cable itself, okay, that is too short and you need to change that. Luckily, I've got a friend who gave me this one here, and that would be a case of changing that. So because you're going from down here to up here, it is only that much difference. So I've got another cable, and that will bring the whole of this bike into, instead of a sit down, now you've just seen a video of my Triumph Tiger, to about here, which, yeah, about here. Should be a lot nicer position, and then I'll have to mess around with the front end, which I will do. So, let's get on with it. I'm going to start taking the bolts off of here. I put heated grips on this the other day, so I've got to take the grips off again. And the end bars. I don't know what I'm going to do with the end bars yet. I don't know if it'll look right. This side I can have a mirror in. This side I can't, but I think you can get a mirror bracket maybe. I'll have to look what it looks like and go from there. But obviously it's all change, and yes, let's get on with it guys. So, right guys, already done the brake cable. As you can see, it's a nice length now, and we come around the front, and now we can see what on earth I'm talking about. Can you see this bit here, and then goes down to a handle, and that's ready to come off, and that bit there, it's like Christmas, eh? Alright, for someone watching this in July, but it's the 30th of December here, so Christmas. There we go, look at them, nicely machined. Now these go there. Can you see this construction now? On the old ones, this comes up and you drill through here. Never quite get it right. You know, millimetres out, it's going to feel funny. So I've got them made up. 90 quid. Brilliant. And look at them bars. Mind the cup of tea. And there we go. So, what I was trying to explain before, that will go something like that. Can you see the difference in height and the riding? That should look very nice, shouldn't it? Right, so I've already undone these two bolts here. This is ready to come off. I've already undone this one as well. And this has got to come up. Remember I said about getting these undone. Alright. So let's get on with it and let's see this transformation take place. Right, well that's a bit of a mess, doesn't it? Right, tidy reservoir up. Don't want upside down, getting the air in there. And that's what we're left with. So I'm doing these two now, getting this off and lift it up. Reason being is you want to get these cables now from underneath to come up through here, and the accelerator one to come up through there. So let's keep going. Right guys, things don't always go to plan, and remember when you're street fighting a bike, there's bits and bobs you're going to have to move around. Obviously these have been made for me and they're not quite right, so I've contacted the company Trick Bitz, and they happily said to me, I'll tell you what Marky, if you show me what you're cutting off,
then we remake these for the specific bike, we'll be able to then add the bit at the bottom. So what I need realistically is a small piece at the bottom, because if you look at these, they sit really well down. So realistically, I suppose it needs that on it. But for the time being, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a small little chunk out of it, and I'll show the company Trick Bitz that, and then they can machine these perfectly. So the next person literally be off, do what I'm saying to do about the other cables and so on, and they're able to fit these straight on perfectly for you. So I'm going to cut them out, and I'll show you how small this is. Now, do you remember a little while ago I said to you that some people cut holes in and then fit the other ones? Well, there's an example of really bad. They are massive holes, and that really wouldn't have worked for me. So these was the right decision to do. And now you can see I've made little marks. I'm going to cut into there and into there, and then make them nice and flat. These two little chunky bits here. And I'll send that to the company. I'll take good pictures of them. And then they will millet that extra bit on there, and that will nicely fit down for them. So let's get on with it, shall we? Right. That would help. Open door. I've probably had to cut away a bit more than a professional would. And obviously Trick Bitz will get this bit, but there you go, guys, look at that. That is my straight bar conversion. Let me get a bit of close up for you. A lot of cleaning to do, I tell you. Right. What do you reckon of them little kitties? You can see these bodgy holes that someone else made, and this is why obviously there was a cover plate on there. So I'm going to put that cover plate nicely back. I mean, obviously you guys won't have to do this, because this video will help them gauge how much they have to cut down. So you can see just by that little bit there how much I needed to come down. Alright, it literally is that whole bit that connects these on. So it's that much. I'll measure it and I'll inform them how high that was. But there you go. There's my straight bar conversion. Let's get some levers and bits on it, and that should look quite nice. Let's have a look. Well, there we have it. Bars on. Front headlight, just got to move that now and sort out the wiring. But from a seated point of view, they look really good. Now, I was going to put these on the ends. I'm still confused what it will look like, to be honest with you. I had these before on a motorbike, and I can't tell whether they look good or not, or a bit silly. I know if I ask the wife, she's going to say they look stupid, so I'm going to leave them off. Right, let's sort this headlight out, and let's get this wiring sorted out. You notice I had to put the ignition here, okay? Because originally it should be somewhere down there. You're never going to get to it. I've got that to sort out now, because that's just got to be glued back down again. Ignition there, and yeah, I'm happy with that look, actually. There we go, guys. Straight bar conversion. I didn't put the end mirrors on, and nor the little plastic bits. As I said, it looks silly. I've upped the light by about 1 inch. I've now upped the forks as well, so now they fit flush. Crisscrossed them. You can see now the nice clocks. Got heated grips there as well, and there we go. Okay, I'll pop this out in the daylight. Obviously it's not daylight now, so you're not going to get it now. Pretty dark outside. One important thing, it's not a top tip like my normal ones. This is really, really important. Go over every single nut again and again. Okay, every Allen bolt, nut, screw, whatever you put in there, go over them. Do it like your life depends on it, because guess what? It really does. It's the only time I'm going to get serious with you. Make sure these are back down. Make sure they're tightened. Okay, they're tightened. All of these are screws, nuts, whatever you put in them are tightened. Make sure you redid this one here, because I raised them. Make sure they're tightened. Make sure these are. I know that they're for your lights, but make sure they're tightened. Your brakes, make sure, you see I've done a little clamp here, make sure it's secure. Bleed your brakes, make sure they're working. Everything must be tight, screwed on as hard as you possibly get it. As I said, your life does depend on it. Okay? Right, enough of my seriousness. It looks nice. Okay, one mirror, and it's a bit of a crap mirror. But do you know what? At least you'll get to see the person behind you. I need to get a little bracket made up somewhere along here to put another wind mirror in. I haven't got one. And maybe I might get some really smart ones. The end bar ones didn't look right. These just don't look right on here. And the end. They're quite wide anyway. And now you're really, really wide. So, well, there you go, guys. I should go out in the light tomorrow. Take a picture of it. And, yeah, looking good now. Much, much, much happier. Well, what a difference the bars make to ride. It just changed the whole aspect of the ride. It's much better now. It sits up. It felt like a completely different bike, and that's all thanks to these little beauties. Okay, yeah, a little bit of work getting them on, but yeah, they're all right now, in the right place. It's all ready. See how I did the ignition? I'll put it over this side now, so that's fitted in there. Raise the clocks up ever so slightly. I want to get a twin horn. It looks a bit sad under there, doesn't it? So I'm going to get 2 horns now and put them up here. Well, there you go, guys. Hopefully that's been exciting enough to see the transformation. And yeah, it just is amazing how different it rides. Guys, please check out my videos. Like and subscribe. I'm always doing something, you know, changing exhaust, doing something silly. But there's my 2 little ones for today. Right, bit of a long video. Take care of yourself. Bye.